Welcome to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where you can learn and be inspired by real-world examples of how technology is transforming businesses and reshaping industries in a language everyone can understand. Here is your host, Neil C. Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast. A quick question for everybody listening out there. Is anyone else out there not feeling Google's new desktop search redesign? If you've not got it yet, because I think it's been rolled out to everyone, but only certain accounts, so maybe I'm late to the party, maybe I'm early, I've no idea, but it now suddenly starts showing a black ad label above the title and URL, and just for organic results, you get like this little favicon. So, for example, you search for LinkedIn, you get a little icon and the URL for LinkedIn, but get this, above the title instead of underneath. It's kind of blown my mind because I don't want to see icons and links above the search result. It's hurting my head. I can't deal with it. So am I getting old and just no good with change? Or is this change for change's sake? And have Google moved away from the very essence that made them the best search engine in the world by just giving you a white screen and results to what you were looking for? I don't know. Food for thought, that one. So let me know what you think. Email techblogwriter@outlook.com or DM me on any social channel at Neil C. Hughes. Now, as you all know, I love exploring new tech trends, but I'm also a sucker for a good startup story, which is one of the reasons I'm quite excited to get today's guest on the show. And here's Shreesha Ramdas, and he's a serial entrepreneur and co-founder of one of the leading customer service platforms in that space. And late last year, Shreesha's company, Strikedeck, was acquired by Medallia. And together, that partnership is designed to round out B2B and B2C offerings in customer service and customer experience. And he also recently wrote about his predictions for 2020 in that area too. So I invited him on the show today to share some of those with us today and, of course, his own unique story. So come with me all the way to California so we can speak with Shreesha on this podcast to share his story. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, thanks, Neil. Super excited to be on your show. I've heard your past episodes. It's wonderful to get an opportunity. So, Shreesha Ramdas, I'm Senior Vice President at Medallia and General Manager of Strikedeck. Medallia is the #1 customer experience management company, and Medallia Experience Cloud tracks experience signals created on daily journeys, whether it's in-person, digital, or IoT, using proprietary AI technology.
Thanks for the kind words there. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. And because you are a serial entrepreneur and you were the co-founder of one of the leading customer success platforms in the space called Strikedeck. And we do have a lot of ground to cover. So to begin with, can you bring us up to speed with what Strikedeck is and what kind of problems it solves for businesses?
So Strikedeck is a customer success platform focused on delivering 3 key outcomes for customers. One is retention. That is, how do you protect your existing revenue? Second is expansion. How do you get more revenue from your existing customer base? And third is advocacy, where how can you get your customers to provide referrals so that you can get new revenue? And we help organizations generate revenue from their customer base by helping them to deliver on the outcomes that they promise their customers. And so in a world where the organizations are obsessed about getting new revenues, goldmine that's inside the organization, which is their existing customers, and we help them to monetize their customer base better.
And late last year, of course, Strikedeck was acquired by Medallia, which you mentioned a few moments ago. And together, I believe that partnership is actually designed to round out B2B and B2C offerings in CS and CX. But can you tell me more about that partnership and what it'll actually mean for businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. That was an exciting and an important milestone in the Strikedeck journey. We getting acquired by the #1 customer experience CX company. And it's been a great journey afterwards. What we are super proud about is that this is the first time any vendor, any company has attempted to bring CX and CS side by side, bringing them together, right? And why it's important is because with customer experience, you get the outside in perspective, which is the customers sharing with them their sentiment about the company, right? Directly. And with CS, you get inside out perspective, which is all the data that's being collected across the different systems platform that you have within the organization. What do they tell you about the digital journey of the customer? So this way, having CS and CX side by side, you can validate a lot of assumptions. You are able to track the complete journey in a comprehensive way, and you get both breadth and depth, right? If you look at CX, it spans across the different functional areas of an organization. It's on the website before even somebody became a customer. They're just browsing your website to understand more about the information. They're looking at their mobile device to understand more about your company. Then they engage with the salesperson. Then they sign the contract. They become the customer. They go through the onboarding. They implement the product. So entire journey, CX is there, right? Because you're collecting that particular phase's results from the customer. Now, what customer success does is it goes in depth after a prospect becomes a customer to understand, the customer journey through the onboarding through becoming an advocate. So that journey, customer success focuses on. So bringing these two together, what we have done is we have aligned marketing and any customer facing organization together, right? Be it customer service, support, success, professional services, account management, and marketing. Now they are perfectly aligned and they can focus on delivering outcomes.
And I suspect that throughout your career, you've seen amazing changes and seen both customer service and customer experience significantly evolve. So what does this mean for the future of customer service and customer experience in your view?
Yeah, what we are seeing, and this is fascinating, this just happened in last couple of years, and I call it the rise of chief customer officer. And I'm seeing this role come about in non-tech companies, large consumer good companies, large manufacturing companies now. They all are creating this role, chief customer officer, and all the customer facing functions are getting consolidated under this chief customer officer, right? And again, it could be customer training, it could be customer onboarding, it could be professional services, it could be account management, and it could be customer support. So all of them are getting converged into this role, right? And that's been fascinating because what that means is that first time customer centricity is truly taking shape in lot of these large organizations. The era of taking customer for granted is over, right? And so everybody has realized that while it's important to bring in new revenue, new logos, new customers, it's super critical to ensure that you're taking care of your existing customers. And that's why the CS and CX coming together is about further empowering the chief customer officer and making that vision happen.
One of the other reasons I was excited to get you on the podcast today is a few weeks ago, you made quite a few predictions about the future. So if possible, could I ask you that you share some of those with me today?
Oh, absolutely. So excited about 2020 in a lot of different ways in how it'll shape up. 2019 was exciting, and 2020, as you know, it's also about, as I say, like in hindsight or in 2020. So the predictions that I've made, and I really believe will start taking shape in 2020, is one is that the customer success and experience will start integrating their practices, and that's by understanding what metrics both should share, what management processes both should make it happen. So the two disciplines will start integrating how they look at the customer, and it'll all happen. So that I'm super excited about, and it goes to what I mentioned to the previous question, where the CX and CS will start converging, and the rise of the chief customer officer will happen. The second, Neil, prediction that I'm confident will again start taking shape is this rise of customer success operations, and that'll go mainstream, right? Today we have sales operations as a major discipline, and everybody realizes how important sales operation folks are for bringing in consistent revenue, for ensuring that the sales department can scale. And similar thing will happen for customer success, where groups will be formed dedicated to doing customer success operations. There may be instances when customer success operations may roll into sales operations, but the fact that there'll be a dedicated group of CS operations folks ensuring that you are able to scale customer success as your number of customers increases. So those are the two predictions that I feel really confident about, Neil.
Excellent. And if we zoom out even further, are there any particular big trends in this space that particularly excite you as well? Or you think that businesses just need to be monitoring a little bit closely this year?
Yeah, last year or last 2 years, there's been this concept that went mainstream, Neil. It's called product-led growth, and it's also known as PLG. And that framework is all about how you need to build great products. You need to ensure that the product can grow virally by customers sharing with other customers. So it's all about putting framework on that. And that, I think, works great for smaller startups, for startups that are, before Series B, Series A, Series B. And after Series B, as you're expanding, as you're heading towards becoming an enterprise, focusing on the product is still important. But I think the framework that will be relevant is customer-led growth, which is CLG. And that framework will take shape this year. And it'll be about how do you bring in customers in together as an advisory board? How can you hold customer conferences? How can you have local chapters for customer community? And it'll be all about putting framework for that. And that, I think, organization will start leveraging this year onwards, and that'll go mainstream.
And from the conversations that you're having with businesses of all sizes, are there any trends around the kind of challenges that all those leaders are facing and coming to you with help for?
Yeah, Neil, in my business, in my daily life, I speak with organizations all the time, every single day, be it prospects, customers. And I've been seeing some interesting trends that I would love to share. The first one is that data still remains a big challenge. And that's surprising because you have so many companies focusing on integrations, right? You have so many vendors who have integration platforms, but still getting data together in an aggregated fashion still remains a big challenge. Data is becoming even more fragmented with proliferations of objects sending data, right? Now, the good news is that the customer footprint is visible more than ever before, right? Because of all the data that's coming in. The bad news is that it's getting difficult every single day to construct the digital story because of the sheer volume of the data and because of the new privacy laws that are coming in. So that's a trend that I'm seeing. And so it will become a major challenge for organizations on what's the strategy they could use to bring all the data together, and solving that will become critical on how you can scale customer success. The second trend that I'm seeing is customer attention is becoming a big problem. We all know that every single customer, every one of us have so many choices, have so many ways in which people are reaching out, be it LinkedIn messaging, be it Facebook messaging, be it through text, be it through WhatsApp, be it through the social media, be it through the cell phone, right? So all of their people are reaching out on various channels. And so holding attention of a customer in any channel is becoming a big problem. And that's where every organization will feel the pressure of having a comprehensive messaging strategy, and how do they go about in how do they pass the message to the customer in the quickest way. The third trend that I'm seeing is what I've talked before is people are going to realize this year that obsessing around the new revenue is not just going to cut it. You look at the stock exchange, look at all the companies that have done really well in recent times, be it Atlassian, be it Zoom. It's all the organizations who are obsessed about bringing delight, bringing happiness to their customer, making the customer successful. And it's not just about getting the new revenue, right? A lot of growth is happening because of their existing customer base. So those are the three trends Neil, that I'm seeing when I'm talking with customers and prospects.
And I'm curious, the new partnership that you have here, how's that going to help customers overcome challenges like that? Because I would imagine you'd be in a much better position to do so as working as two.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the reason why we're super excited about this partnership and the vision that we have. We have this incredible opportunity to bring customer centricity to organizations. And that'll happen because we have figured out ways where we bring data together in compliance with the privacy laws on the key data elements that are relevant for you to serve your customers. So with the partnership, we have solved that major integration problem that I shared. The second is to get the customer attention. We again have a strong core messaging module that helps customer figure out the comprehensive messaging strategy that they need to have. And last but not least, we really provide the power to harness your customer base and to ensure that you are expanding your revenue from your existing customer base.
And that partnership was formed last year, but is there anything else that you can share with us about the road ahead and what excites you?
Yeah, Neil, we are super excited about the potential opportunity with artificial intelligence. And there's a lot of stuff happening around where, Google, Amazon, Facebook, they are taking the AI to the next level. We have seen how voice technology has improved with Alexa, Google Nest. They are able to understand a lot with the voice, right? And we are excited that we can build on that, and the key point there is our ability to figure out the customer emotion, the customer sentiment, the customer body language, the customer verbal language. And we will be able to figure out the algorithms that can detect those emotions. And what that'll help, Neil, is to close the loop in a true fashion, right? Is if customer is sharing the sentiment, customer is sharing an emotion with an experience that the customer has had, we will be able to automatically close the loop by taking the follow-up actions, by not depending on manual processes. And that's super exciting. It'll be super challenging for sure, but Medallia has got Athena, which is an artificial intelligence platform, and it's just amazing what Athena can do for the customers.
Fantastic. Well, a big thank you for coming on. But before I do let you go, I'm conscious we've covered a lot of ground and we've talked about so many different topics today. But can you remind the listeners of where they can find you online and also contact your team if they are left with any questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Neil, one of my favorite social platforms is LinkedIn. They can always find me on LinkedIn, connect with me. Our Twitter handle is also pretty active. And so folks can also reach out on Twitter, both at Strikedeck and Medallia Twitter handle. They can reach out and they'll be able to get in touch with our team.
Well, I think one of the things that I've noticed over the last few months, or maybe even longer, is the lines between B2B and B2C are constantly blurring now, especially as young users are entering the workplace and the world of business with the exact same expectations that they have as a consumer. And I think it's almost merging into this P2P, people to people new ecosystem now. So what I love about what you're doing here is this partnership and how it's designed to round out B2B and B2C, especially the offerings around customer service and customer experience. It's incredibly forward thinking. So I wish you the best for the future, and I'd love to get you on later this year and find out how that's progressing. But thanks so much for taking the time to come and speak with me today.
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for the wonderful opportunity.
Much love and thanks to Shreesha for discussing the future of customer service and customer experience with us all today. But most importantly, for being completely transparent and sharing his story, his challenges, and how he's overcome those challenges and turned them into opportunities. And when I hear stories like that, I almost want to soak up all of his experience and insights and level up myself like in some kind of video game. But what did you think? Remember, you can always email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, tweet me at Neil C. Hughes, pop by my website, techblogwriter.co.uk, if you'd like to work with me. Whatever it is, even if it's just to say hello, send me a quick message. And like I said in a couple of episodes ago, if you are at Dynatrace Perform in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks and you'd like to meet me for a hot coffee or a cold beer, whatever it is, whatever your poison is, let me know and we'll meet up. So a big thank you for listening, and until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast with Neil C. Hughes. Remember, technology works best when it brings people together.